Welcome to Old Hadley Vintage, where stories of the past come alive. Nostalgia in every corner, an antique paradise to revive. Antique glass and vintage dishes, holiday items, bric-a-brac galore. Step inside, let your heart make wishes, something for everyone to explore.
Well, hello, fine folks. You caught me in the car. I am on my way to the post office to drop off some goodies that people purchased from me on the Christmas and July sale that we had on Scott's channel this past Monday. If you didn't have a chance to watch it, please go back and watch the video. It was fantastic. We had a lot of fun. It was my first sale and it was very successful. If anybody has purchased anything from me, be sure to check your emails for my invoices that I have sent out. I'm just waiting for a few of you to get back to me so that I can send you out your goodies as soon as possible. I will be having a thrift haul a little bit later on today, and we will be discussing some glassware that I found at some of the local Goodwills and Salvation Armies in my area. So be sure to stay tuned, and maybe I'll link it along with this video. We'll see you in a bit. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Old Hadley Vintage. I'm back here in the Hollow and trying to cool off a little bit. It is so humid outside. I don't know where in the world you folks are from, but where I am up here in Massachusetts, whew, this humidity is incredible. So pardon me while I take a sip of water. Make sure you're staying hydrated too. So I have a couple of things that I thrifted over the past several months from some of the Goodwills and the some local thrift shops that we have in our area. And I hope you like these items. If there's anything specific you're looking for, please let me know. I know some people have asked me about mid-century items. Occasionally I will find some things like that, and I'll be glad to bring those to you as well. But I don't find as much mid-century as I do a lot of the vintage glassware that I'm about to show you here in antique glassware from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. So without further ado, let me show you what I found. This first piece here, I nearly passed out when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. No chips, no cracks, absolutely beautiful. This is probably from the 30s. Cambridge, I believe, is the maker of this piece. It's absolutely incredible. It's like a console bowl. It's very, very big. It's probably, if I were to guess, I would probably say about, maybe about 11, almost 12 inches across. And pretty deep too, and perfect in the center of your dining room table. And there's no chippies, no crackies, no flea bites for its age. It's absolutely beautiful. The pattern on it, I actually had to make myself some notes because I did do a little research on this through some of my glass books that I have. And this pattern is called Bridal Bouquet, and it's done in gold. I've also seen this in silver as well, but this particular pattern is in gold. So that may be coming to one of our live sales soon, so keep an eye out for this piece. Most of you are familiar, especially if you watch Scott's channel. We know that he doesn't really hate this pattern, but this is probably from the 20s or 30s. This is one of the earlier patterns of the iris herringbone. It's a beautiful piece and no chips or cracks on it. I couldn't believe that this was just sitting up on the shelf. A lot of people, it's such a common piece and a lot of people don't really jump at it. But it is pretty, and I do have to agree with Scott. It is a beautiful piece when it's clear glass. The later pieces that have that orangey tinge to them, not a fan. And I believe those came out in the 50s or 60s, I think, is when they started creating some of those colored glasses. I do apologize, some of these things have to be washed yet. But there it is. And some more Cambridge glass here. Some of you people like this etched stuff, so this may be of interest to you. This is called Wildflower, elegant glassware. It's a beautiful dish. It has 4 legs on it. Hold it still, as everybody says, so you can take a peek at it. It's a really beautiful pattern, and it is etched on the back. It's kind of rough, has that rough texture to it. So it's really beautiful. It's an absolutely gorgeous piece, and I love the handles on the sides. How pretty that would be in the center of your dining room table, even just by itself on your mahogany dining room table. Wouldn't that be nice? Beautiful. So I found that. And then I found some, this is pretty common, especially in my area here. This is made by Jeanette Glass, the Cubist pattern, and it's in pink depression glass colors. Not exactly sure of the age. I'm gonna say maybe the 50s, maybe even going into the 60s. But it's the Cubist pattern. There's 2 pieces. They're rubber banded together from the store, so I don't want to take them apart. But there's no chips, no cracks. It's in perfect condition. I think it's a very pretty set. Now, the company's traded patterns over the years, so you know, there's no telling if this really is Jeanette, but from my research, I believe it is. That's where it's always about those glass books, folks. Look in your glass books. I can't stress that enough. Just doing Google searches, and I'm guilty of it. I do Google searches, especially when I'm in the Goodwill, just on the fly. I'll do a quick Google search, but that's not going to give you an accurate description. I hope you can understand that. This is the first time you guys probably seen me with a hat. I usually don't wear a hat. And this shirt that I'm wearing, I'm not sure if any of you have this in your area of the country or the world. It was called Child World. It was a toy supermarket. It was an actual toy store years ago when I was a little boy in the 80s. And it was incredible to walk in there. They used to have a panda bear, I believe, was their mascot. And not too far from me, we had a store. And it was the coolest thing to go into. So, next pattern I have here is 1930s Mayfair Rose pattern. It's made by Anchor Hawking, and it's also like a console bowl. So it's a beautiful pink depression glass piece. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's called Mayfair Rose. You can see the rose pattern on there. Very pretty. And no chips, no cracks. I couldn't believe the condition. And a lot of people just are not interested in it nowadays. So that's fine. I'd be glad to procure it for you folks in case you're interested in it. Gorgeous piece. It's actually kind of heavy too. Very pretty. Now, do I have anybody out there that likes Fostoria American? I find it everywhere. There's like a plethora of this stuff in this area. So I found a stack. Look at all of this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. So you can have a table setting for 6, and if Uncle Adolf comes over and he decides that he's going to drop one on the ground and break it, well, you got to back up. So here it is. Everybody's familiar with Fostoria American. And these are in really good condition. I don't even think I see any utensil marks on these, so whoever owned these didn't really bake dessert very much or serve salad on these very much. And that's what they were called, salad plates or dessert plates. I always call them dessert plates because not many people really have salad before dinner that often anymore. Usually if you do, you put them in a bowl. Yeah. So that is that. And then I have some Japan pieces here. This beautiful lemon server. How awesome is this? I'll hold it up for you so you can see the pattern on it. Very pretty. Perfect for fall. So I may save this for a fall sale. Very pretty. And this is Noritake, Japan. It does have some gold that has rubbed off from the handle, but apparently the lady that owned this served a lot of lemons when she had her lady friends over for tea. And the other piece I have here is also Noritake, China, Japan. It says Blue Dawn, so apparently that's the pattern for this is called Blue Dawn. And it's a square plate. No chips, no cracks. It's in beautiful condition. And it's a really beautiful pattern. And if I'm wrong in the descriptions of any of these items, please, I encourage you guys to correct me because I'm slowly learning along with some of you. But some of you are experts in this type of thing. And I encourage you to reach out to me in the comments below and let me know if I have any of these things right, or if I have anything that I've said that's incorrect. I'm more than willing to take some constructive criticism. Now, this piece is also from Japan, and it is so cute. Actually, these little set, I should say. It's called Moss Rose, and this is part of a child set. So kids would have their own little dishes. This is the cutest set I have seen. How adorable is this? So now you've got the salt and pepper shakers, and they still have their stoppers. We have the little casserole dish with its lid. It doesn't look like there's any little chips or anything in there. The inside of it looks really good. Doesn't look to be any, well, there might be some manufacturer imperfections on it. But these are Japan pieces. It does say Japan underneath, I'll show you that. You might recognize the mark. So there it is. And the rose pattern itself is just so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? And then finally, it's just like a little tiny platter or a little tiny serving dish. Now, do you have to use this as a children's serving set? Of course not. You can even put this on your dresser and put your rings and things inside. You can put this by your bedside to put a water glass on. There's so many things. You don't have to use it as a child serving set. But if you have a special someone in your life, a little someone who likes to play grown up and they want to have their own grown up sized serving pieces, well, this would be a perfect Christmas gift for them. And finally, I have this amazing set that I found. I think I made noises that I've never made before when I finally saw this at the Goodwill. I made a beeline to the aisle, and it was shoved over in with all the lamps and electrical items and it was just flung on the shelf, and I couldn't get over there fast enough. I think I left flames in my tracks. How amazing is this? This is, it says Genuine Italian Miniature Lights. It's a village. And the box is in really good condition. It does have a tear up on the top, right here. And some of the corners are a little, oh, and it actually does have a bigger tear here in the back. But overall, for its age, I think it's in very good condition. And I would probably have to date this, I would say maybe from the 50s, maybe the 60s, maybe, might even be the 40s. Not really sure. If you know, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to let me know, because I'm learning right along with you. So in this kit, in this set, I'll show you before I start pulling some of these things out. This is how it came. So I opened it up and I could not believe my eyes. Because as you know from Monday's sale, I love vintage Christmas. I love vintage Halloween, vintage Easter, lots of different holiday vintage. So that's really my thing. So the lights are here. These are made in Italy. I believe it says right on it. Yeah, it says made in Italy, right on the plug. Hopefully you can see that. And they work. They still work. They light up. They're multicolored. They're not all white lights. They're multicolored lights, but very pretty. And the houses themselves, well, I just could not believe my eyes. And it looks like whoever had these on their tree must have used that. Do you remember that angel hair they used to put on the tree in the 60s and 70s? Well, there's pieces of it all over the place. And of course, we know that's fiberglass, spun fiberglass. Can you imagine putting spun fiberglass on your tree? Well, when I was a boy and decorating my grandmother's tree, I remember she had tons of vintage ornaments. And I was in all of that, was where my love of Christmas came from when it came to vintage ornaments. And I remember her having a couple boxes of that angel hair. And I would just dig right in. Little did I know that was spun fiberglass. And then later in the day, your hands were all irritated because you had little shards of glass in your fingers. No wonder why we don't sell it anymore. So these little houses are absolutely adorable. Here's two of them. How cute are they? And they still have their windows and their little trees. How cute is that? Isn't that wonderful? So that's only two of, let me see how many houses are here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Now here is the church. That's backward. Here's the church. And the church isn't, oh, it's got some hay, probably from their manger or something that they had on the bottom of their tree, but there's the church. And again, these are all Italian. These are all made in Italy, I believe. Because there's nothing else in this box to say that they were made in anywhere other than Italy. But how neat is that? And each one of them, this one here does have a little bit of a tape repair that somebody put some Scotch tape on. But you put those lights that I showed you right in each one of these, and then the windows all light up. So how neat is that? So, of course, you don't have to hang them on a tree. You can have them on as a village set, on a bunch of some fluffy snow. Oh, I just love things like this, don't you? So, these were awesome. And it also came with, and I don't believe this came with the original set, but it did come with some of these plastic little skiers. And they keep losing their skis. So I guess we're gonna have to now call them snowboarders. But these look pretty old too. Kind of frightening too, but I'm sure these are old as well. So, that's this set. So maybe this will be up for sale on one of the auction sites. I do have an eBay store as well. I will put the link below in the description so you can click on that. I don't currently have anything listed, but I will be having some things listed in my eBay store soon as well, so you guys can take a look at that. And that's probably where that village is going to end up. And I think that about does it. Whew. I am still hot, and I have air conditioning in the house, and it's still warm. Whew. I'm gonna just take a quick sip. You take a sip too. So I think it's just gonna be a nice afternoon of just relaxing, listening to some wonderful 40s music, and enjoying the company of my golden retriever, Toby. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in. Hopefully I see you guys soon. We're gonna do some thrift hauls or maybe some shop-alongs. Still have to try to figure out how I'm gonna do those. I'm still learning. And I hope to take you guys along with me. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.